Evening. It's Saturday. I did make it up to Lone Star Roundup. Let's just say driving as a challenge, and driving for about an hour and a half, 2 hours up there, hour and a half, 2 hours home, and walking around. My left eye is tired. It's not normally the eye I use all the time. If you don't know it, typically as a human being, your left eye or right eye dominant, so one eye does more seeing for you than the other one. So let's just say it's a challenge. So I wanted to talk about a couple things other than that. There are a lot of people right now who are calling for revolution. And I'm not disagreeing when I say this stuff, but if you have never been shot at, a gun makes a completely different noise when it's shooting at you than when it's going off because you shot it. So you need to understand that. And typically the rule of thumb is if you hear the gunshots, then you don't necessarily have to worry about being shot at, because bullets of a certain caliber travel faster than the speed of sound. So if you hear the gunshot, then it's not necessarily true. If you hear gunshots, you hear ping, 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 or you hear stuff whizzing by you, they make a funny noise. They literally whizzing by you is a thing. So then if that's happening, then fucking drop to the ground. So. The other thing is, most of you have never experienced an explosion, or the percussion of an explosion, or call it a backblast from a large bomb, or the case of Iraq, IEDs going off. So a big enough explosion, you can feel the percussion a long ways away. So just make sure you remember that. So if you watch New York Prepper at all, he's on a lot late, like later than me. He's on like midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So I think he's on that schedule on purpose, because early in the morning over there is like, for Russia, I think 8 o'clock in the morning there is like midnight here. So for your Ukraine, Russia, Germany, I'm pretty sure it's 6.5 hours from Central Standard Time. So they're 5.5, I think, from East Coast. So I think the reason he's on so late is because this is what you need to understand. If Russia's going to launch, I want to believe it's going to be during their daylight hours. So if they're going to do a first strike, it's going to happen in the middle of the night here. So I don't know what to tell you about that, other than, it's a thing. So just keep in mind that the time change, because of different placements of countries on the globe, affects when things are going to happen. Now, if you want it to be, in my opinion, the most effective, you would need to attack us Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday in the mid-afternoon before the end of the day, because that's when everybody's out doing shit. Mondays and Fridays, we tend to have people who don't go to work. Saturdays and Sundays, we're out doing shit, but we're not at work. So if he wants to separate families and cause chaos and mayhem, the most chaos and mayhem would be to have it between 1 and 3 on a Monday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So, and that equates to what time? If they're 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours ahead of us, depending on where they launch from, or if they launch from a ship off our coast, then they can be in the same, it can be on the East Coast or the West Coast, and cause major havoc. So I feel bad saying this, but I think it's kind of fucking poetic justice that there were so many people saying there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to worry about. And you got all kinds of people saying now that you pay attention. So tomorrow I'm going to go to SeaWorld with my wife. I don't know anything about my eye yet. If I haven't heard anything from the VA by Wednesday, then I'm going to go to an Army active duty military hospital that has an emergency room. At least the last time I went there for an eye thing, there was an eye doctor there. So At least get an actual fucking eye doctor to look at it and say, okay, what's what. So for all you fucktards who believe free shit is good and socialized medicine is good, I've had an eye condition for a month. I went to see an eye optometrist a week ago Friday. She said you need to see a specialist, gave me a card. I already had an appointment with the VA on Wednesday, saw my VA doctor. No phone call Wednesday afternoon, no phone call Thursday, no phone call Friday, and I don't expect to get a phone call even next week. So free is not better. I had a conversation with a young lady about free, because she said she would go to Norway if she ever left the U.S. because they have free healthcare. And I'm like, free's not better. It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the reason capitalism works is because there is competition. If there's competition and innovation, it drives the cost of procedures down. If there's no incentive to work harder, work longer, and be better, then it's a race to the bottom, and you get, everyone will have healthcare like the fucking VA, which sucks ass. So just keep that in mind. You know, there's a reason socialized medicine doesn't work. People from Canada fucking come down here. Because, you know, if people who have money or have insurance, then they can get shit. I got insurance, but I can't. So that's it. Anyway, information is knowledge and power. Chief Pepper out.